So, we're going to be playing, like I said, a good amount of Avowed today. And I can't decide if I want my beanie on or off. I'm waffling. Now I want waffles. Damn it. During the intro, I respec'd, by the way, a little bit. While I was hanging out waiting for y'all. So, I took out a point in armor. And I added a point in barbaric shout. And I got this new skill into the fray, which I'm hoping is going to be fun. I'm thinking we could pull the range guys to us, which would be cool. I did go ahead and bring parry back for now because I'm two-handing, and I got this new critical strike increase, so we'll see how that is. But I'm still also very torn. I may want to do dual wield, but I have not yet found two dual wield weapons that really speak to me, so we'll see. Okay, we are almost ready to go to the next section, but before I do, chat, I need your help. I need the Idol of Secret Hatred and Obsidian Prayer Beads. Would any of you fine folks have any idea where to procure those? We spent a lot of the night last night just exploring around here. Like, we went to many, many different places. So, I'm not really sure where these things are. I just have to keep looking around. Our help, we're doomed? Yes, pretty much. We are doomed. That is the right way to say that. Mm-hmm. Hey, have a good one, Hubnero. Yeah, KCD2 tomorrow. We're going to do Avowed all day today, and then KCD2 all day tomorrow, except for the cozy. But yeah, that's how we're going to be doing KCD2, probably starting around 10 a.m. tomorrow for at least a few hours before DF. I think we have DF tomorrow. So, yeah. You said KCD2 today and Avowed in the cozy? Yeah, but then I was thinking about it last night, and I really want to get this game wrapped up before Monster Hunter. Yep, so I gotta put in some hours. Idol of Hatred. It can be looted on the ground next to Maxim Vidaro's corpse inside the ancient grotto. The ancient grotto. That's where we fought Airbro? Where is the ancient grotto? There it is. It's over here. Okay, cool. The obsidian prayer beads can be found on the western edge of Emerald Stair in an area where you retrieve the Adragan Heart. Oh, okay, cool. Thank you, both of you guys. I think that's mostly what we need there. How do you keep yourself from playing Yakuza after yesterday's 2-hour sponsor? It's not super easy. I had a really, really good time yesterday, so I'm staying focused to my my goals and what I've put out for myself.
Lord, the lords have arrived.
Hi, Henry, and I want to play you too, Henry. But no, I'm trying really hard to finish games. That has been an ever-present point of feedback, especially lately. People say, "Please, for the love of God, Cohh, finish your games," and that's exactly what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to finish my games. There's that guy. I remember we found him. I remember we found this chest. Must have been something else we missed. Got that chest too. Got it. Oh.
Here it comes.
No swimming, and no drinking for that matter.
What is this area? We got this. Got a whole bunch of poop water. Dang. This place is a little more complicated than I thought it was. I think we're back at the main central area now. Yeah, okay. So we're still missing something here. This ancient grotto is expansive, man. Any plans for Pirate Yakuza? Yes, but I'd like to do that, I believe, after Monster Hunter Wilds. That's the current plan. I can go down here, can I? No. This is the way out. We go in this water? And that would hurt us, but... Oh. Okay. Interesting. Let's go back here. This game is making me look up far more than I'm comfortable doing, chat. You can go in that little hole over there. Whoa. Oh, that's the entrance. Okay. That was it. That was it. Dang it. Look at that. Ring of the Founder. 10% damage against enemies with full health. Once adoring the ring of Maxim Vidaro, founder of Fioromes Iverno, this simple leather cord is coved in dark stains that always return if washed away. Well, that's creepy. I like it.
That's Maxim Vidaro.
That looks like a piece of the thing you were fiddling with.
We're finally leaving the Republics. I never thought I would convince so many to join this bitter Skainite crusade, but it seems I do not grind my axe alone. Oh, 2 years later, I have a son. Fioromes Iverno is thriving beyond my wildest dreams. The settlement practically runs itself these days. In my restless wanderings, I found a cave that leads into some precursor ruins. It's been some time since I last penned my thoughts. The resentful Skainite who set sail for the living lands is dead. A tired, content old man has taken his place, and yet Skain is never far from my thoughts. Not as a skinless force of terror, but as a catalyst of change and upsetter of norms. Here in the wilderness, I think I found more communion with the effigy than I ever did in my defiance. Ignacy is a good man. I have no reservations about leaving Fioromes Iverno, my legacy in his capable hands. I must rest.
Yeah.
Damn, did he come here to die? Maybe. Wow. It's a nice place. I wonder if there's a Cohh Easter egg in Avowed? Nope. No, sir. No. I don't really have... I used to in the past, but I don't really have any connections at Obsidian these days. Just a company I really like. All right. So, let's go check out this last area, which should be up here. I have no idea where, but yeah. Alucard.
Super Chat. Both KCD and RDR2 released the same year. Does that mean we'll see the same thing happen with GTA 6?
Oh. Yeah, maybe. That's funny to think about. So KCD 1 and GTA 5 released in the same year. Yeah. That's funny. Gar says Carrie Patel's delightful in interviews. Yeah, she seems awesome. I mean, we've interviewed her. I interviewed her once, dropped frames a couple times. And every time we've talked to her, she's been, you know, very cool. Very cool, very passionate about what she does, which is great. The more of that in the game industry, the better. Okay. So the only thing we know is that the item we're looking for is somewhere over here. It's somewhere in this section. Ow. This area is really pretty. This is where we peacefully did the Delimgan Queen stuff, which was nice. I'm glad we were able to figure that out. You can see all these enemies are not fighting us. Oh. They are kind to me. I get food, shelter, even the rare attempt at conversation, but my passion, my life force, it lives by the scratch of pen on paper, the heated debate of science, the delight of research. They grow discordant when they see me write. I understand why. If I'd come across them carving messages in dried flesh of dead kith, my horror would be great. I certainly would not provide them with said carcasses to carve. So I will pass my days here, a parched man floating along in the ocean, all the knowledge I've ever desired laid out before me with not a single way to record it. That's kind of cool. That's kind of fun. Well, I mean, terrible, but kind of fun. Yeah, absolutely, Hubnero. We'll see you later, buddy. Yeah, I'm planning to do KCD2. Even though I want to finish Avowed, I very much want to keep the pace up with KCD2. So we'll get at least a couple to a few hours of it in each day. That's the plan right now. We'll probably start with KCD2 for a couple to a few hours every morning. And then finish the day out with Avowed to get that wrapped up. This area is so pretty. I completely agree. Completely agree. Area is gorgeous. And I think you have to say it like that too. Gorgeous. Just gorgeous. Can we go back here? No. Hey, girl.
You've returned.
I have. Hi. Sorry to have disturbed you.
There is no need to be.
Okay, you go back to doing plant things. Alright, so somewhere tucked away in this area is a Skanite totem. Where, pray tell, be this totem? Okay. It said, I think the person in chat earlier said it's in the western edge of the map. Which is basically this whole section. Yeah. Left side when exiting the Queen's Chambers. Okay. I thought we came in that way, but let's take a look. Oh, we came in along the top. Going along the bottom, too. And then we'll go out at the top and hug that right a little tighter. Yeah, oh, actually, I think we have to go along the top. All right, let's go along the top. Oh, we went up there. Wait, maybe we didn't go up there. Here's the Queen Chambers, right? Yeah, this is the Queen's Chambers. I don't think we're doing anything up there. Alright, let's go this way. Nothing back here, right? Nope. Can we get up here? Oh, no, okay. So let's go up the top area. Gaz says, hate how the internet is so nitpicky on everything nowadays. The game looks awesome to me. Well, I mean, Avowed is kind of in an interesting situation because what it's doing is great, but it is in the container of other games that kind of elicit expectations. It isn't necessarily fair to make with Avowed, but there's no question that people are going to make them. So it all comes down to, like, if you can appreciate what is in here as opposed to being frustrated about what isn't. And what I mean by that is basically, oh, I think this might be it. What I mean by that is this game is not Oblivion, it's not Skyrim, it's not Fallout, it's not in the Creation Engine by Bethesda. But it's still the situation where when you see a game like this, you want a full physics system. You want all the items in the game world to be physical objects. You want a full NPC day-night cycle like in KCD2. Like, when you see a game like this, even if the devs tell you it's not going to have that stuff, you still want that stuff. And that's what I feel like a lot of people are falling into with Avowed. They see Avowed, it looks exactly like Obsidian and Oblivion in their heads, and that immediately gives them this laundry list of expectations that are not in the game. And then when they start encountering those things, one by one, they start getting frustrated that they aren't in the game, and eventually they're just like, I'm done. This isn't Obsidian, this isn't Skyrim, I thought it was going to be, I'm done. And the thing is you can't tell that person they're wrong. They're not wrong for not liking the game because it doesn't have stuff they want in it. You could argue their expectations were out of whack, but that's kind of a different thing. That's not saying they're wrong. That's like a different discussion. So that's one of the reasons I don't like when people are hating on Avowed. This, you know, and I've preached this in the past, so I'm going to say it again. Whenever somebody hates on a game like this, you can say your side of it, but don't feel the need to defend it. We don't need to defend Avowed. We don't need to defend, like when somebody says, I don't like Avowed because it's not Obsidian, you don't have to say, yeah, but, you know, like, you should like it because, like, no, just who cares? They wanted Obsidian, they didn't get, or not Obsidian, they wanted Oblivion, they didn't get it. They wanted Skyrim, they didn't get it. Okay, we'll wait until the next game. And you know, in a situation like that, you can tell them that's fine.
That looks like a piece of.
But it's also like, in my opinion, it is so important with a game like this that you focus on what's in it instead of what's not in it. And if you, with this game in particular, if you focus on what's actually in it, what's actually in it is pretty freaking fun and awesome, especially if you're a Pillars of Eternity fan. But I mean, if you go in with a bunch of expectations that just aren't going to be met, like, you're going to have a bad time. So, yeah, it's that kind of situation. Yep. Norby says casual average spam action button game is in it. Fun if you want to turn the brain off. Yeah, just like Obsidian or Skyrim or Fallout. Yep. You just kind of pick your build and you have your fun, kind of dumb fun going through the game world. Pretty much. All right, let's go back to camp and get this going, and I think we're gonna go to the next section. Garnation says, I feel like they probably marketed the game poorly. So many people were expecting an immersive RPG. Well, and this actually goes back to the beginning of what I was saying when I say that this game's in a weird situation. Because they even said this game is not like Skyrim. We're not trying to be Skyrim, I think is what they said.
A couple of times.
But the only thing I would have said that Obsidian should have done differently is they should have been incredibly overt with what their game was not doing. So they should have literally said, like, you know, where sandboxes have tons of immersive mechanics, our game doesn't do that. Our game is more of a narrative-focused action RPG. Like, do not expect day-night cycles for the NPCs. Do not expect a fully physics game world. Like, I think they could have done that better. But here's the thing: even if they had, there still would have been people that look at this and say they want Oblivion, or they want Oblivion, they want Skyrim. This isn't it. Like, no matter how well they market it, they're still going to have those people. The video still would have come out. So it's, you know, it is what it is. It's hard to make a game so similar to the others, yet have wildly different expectations. You know.
I've never even left the island before. The republics are said to be innovators in arts, government, and animancy, but also corruption.
That's probably why there's so much work for people like me.
One day, I would very much like to visit, if only to understand why my people
Forest Skies. Yeah, and that's totally valid. I know a lot of people feel that way too. A lot of people feel that what is here is average or below average. Totally understandable. Yep. Good feedback,
Did that artifact
I would say.
Get warmer, or am I imagining it?
Here we go. Venture deeper, seek the voice's source.
What have you found?
They call themselves the Akita. They worship this strange child.
Woodika will be displeased to hear it.
Woodika is never pleased.
Listen for more of Skane's voice.
That is all I have. The rest is none of my concern.
Still, you refuse to take sides. This affects you too, you know.
I admit my sympathy. A group of exiles. A forbidden faith. But the Queen's tenuous favor, yes, compelling indeed.
Listen for whether Skane takes the side.
I smell the tang of rebellion here. It is strange to find myself aligned with those in power for once. Though I will say this. The Queen may have her motives. Sometimes standing idly by is greater subterfuge than action.
I hope this does not force all our hands.
Not bad. A little art to brighten up the camp.
Damn.
You know,
Oh, wait.
Steam thistle.
Oh, we can only have one? Oh, I didn't know that. Damn.
Any medicinal properties.
I'm doing that one.
Oh?
But if you grind it up and add some clean water, it's decent at protecting your skin from the sun.
That will be a great help on our travels. I detest the sun.
It also doesn't taste half bad on bread, if you don't mind picking out all the little pricklers.
I think I'll stick to butter. But at least we have options.
Wait, did you ask about that, or was it Kai? Never mind. Carry on.
Carry on. Okay, send to Thirdborn. General tones. Yeah, it's interesting because when we were talking about people wanting immersion from this game, it is kind of funny. And I have to say the timing of this was pretty crazy. Like, the fact, I think one of the reasons that people may be frustrated with this game as much as they are is because they're also playing KCD 2, which is one of the best examples of an immersive sandbox we've seen in years. So it didn't exactly help. It didn't exactly help that that was the case. It's the same situation we ran into with like Starfield and Baldur's Gate 3. It's exactly the same situation, where it's like, I feel like Starfield would have done much better if they had pushed it away from Baldur's Gate 3 more, where it's just like, you know, it became very jarring. Yeah. Have you seen the video comparing this to Oblivion? Yeah, most of that is completely ridiculous. The game is not trying to do half of what that thing is saying that it's supposed to do. Oblivion and Skyrim are immersive sandbox games. That's what they do. Like, that's not what this game is doing. It's not trying to be an immersive sandbox. So, like, that's not really what it's trying to do. Now, would I have liked to have seen all that stuff in this game? Sure. But the thing about game dev is there's this thing called scope. And scope is where you put your resources to deliver the product you're trying to deliver. So a lot of that stuff in the Oblivion, this verse of Oblivion, this verse Skyrim, a lot of the stuff in those videos was just out of this game's scope. This game wasn't trying to be an immersive sim, so they're not going to spend resources putting a bunch of the stuff in that makes it a sandbox game. It's not a sandbox game. So if they were going for a sandbox game, if they were saying this is the next Skyrim, then hell yeah, those videos would be very apt. It's like, look what they did 14 years ago. Why aren't you putting that in your new sandbox? That'd make a lot of sense. But this isn't trying to be a sandbox game. This isn't trying to, like, it doesn't have a checkbox of everything Skyrim did. And it's checking them off. Okay, we got that in our game, we got that in our game, we got that in our game. That was never the point of this game. So the point of this game was to deliver a narrative experience and a fun world to explore with an action combat system that covers Pillars of Eternity lore. It's supposed to be Outer Worlds in the Pillars of Eternity universe. And for people like me, it's doing that pretty well. As a Pillars of Eternity fan, I'm having a great time in it because my expectations are managed and I'm going in expecting what I'm getting. But I mean, you could have made that same Oblivion video versus Elden Ring. You could have sat in front of an Elden Ring NPC and been like, look, we've been sitting here for 6 hours and the NPC hasn't gone home to sleep. And it's like, you would look at it and go, yeah, it's because that's Elden Ring. You're not supposed to have day-night NPC cycles in Elden Ring. And they would go, well, that's because Oblivion's nothing like Elden Ring. And then I would be like, yeah, and Avowed is nothing like Oblivion. Like, it's not trying to do that. Avowed is not trying to be Skyrim. It's not trying to be Oblivion. Would I like this game to have full NPC day-night cycles and every object to be simulated? And would I like the ocean to be populated and every NPC to have a full AI? Would I like that? Absolutely. I'd love it. I would love for this to also be a sandbox game, but it's not. It's not. So I can't be mad at it for not being what I'd like it to be. It's not what I want it to be. I can't be mad at that for that. You know what I mean? Like that's on me for expecting that, not them for not delivering it, if that makes sense. So that's my view on those videos. I'm not trying to say this is the best game ever, don't get me wrong. The game has lots of flaws. Lots of flaws. We've talked about it a lot during this show. And for the record, some people don't like the exact stuff I was talking about. Some people are like, yeah, the narrative and the main story and the action and the adventure and the exploring, it's all average. And that's a completely fair discussion to have. But I do take a little bit of issue with people going, this game doesn't have things in it that we were told it wouldn't have, and that's why it's bad. That's a little weird. If you're making that argument, you got to take a step back and be like, you got to think about that a little bit. Like, there's plenty of good reasons to have discussions on why this game could be better. Let's not discuss reasons that make no real sense, if that makes sense. It's fair to compare to old games. Absolutely, it's fair to compare to old games. Absolutely. But you want to make sure you're comparing them to to games that are trying to do the same thing. So for instance, even though this game doesn't have the sandbox elements of Skyrim or Obsidian, the cutscenes, the voice acting, the combat is on a completely different level of development from Oblivion and Skyrim. Completely different level. And that's because that's what this game is focusing on instead of the sandbox elements. Like that's where their scope is. So, so it makes sense that that's how it would be. So it's kind of like all those people making the videos about how this game and Oblivion and this game and Skyrim, like Avowed versus Skyrim, Avowed versus Oblivion. Cool, the entire second half of that video should be comparing cutscenes, should be comparing combat, should be comparing like the ability trees and all that kind of stuff. And I haven't seen a lot of those videos. Maybe I missed them, but I haven't seen a lot of those videos. Yeah. Someone said this game is more like Kingdoms of Amalur, which I kind of agree with. Oh, I haven't heard that comparison. I mean, they're different, but yeah. I can see why people would make that. Billy Big Ball says, it sounds like you're selling out. I'm doing the opposite. I think selling out would be just agreeing with what's popular, which is everything that I'm talking about.
Now we're leaving with
I feel like selling out is just pulling up the videos and going, oh yeah, look at that. Oh man, Avowed's so bad, like everyone else. Like, I feel that's the definition of selling out, because that's the wave right now. Like, that's what everyone's doing. So, like, I think if anything, trying to really discern what the argument is and try to target it is kind of the opposite of that, wouldn't you think?
More questions. How do we fight the
I'm not
dream
sponsored by these guys.
What can we do about
this game isn't even
Sapphire?
doing well on Twitch.
Where's the garden? Not to mention why the steel garrote attacked my fucking home.
Anyway, that's enough about that today. Yeah, it is what it is. That's right. They have no respect for the living lands.
Exactly. They claim to bring peace and order, but at what cost? We were lucky this time. My people will be on high alert, but that doesn't mean we're safe. The steel garrote are hunting anyone who doesn't conform to their vision of the living lands. Our freedom is on the line.
So on top of the Drain Scourge rotting your fields and turning kith and beast alike into monsters, now we've got a Death Guard Inquisitor and the Steel Garrote dogging our steps.
Hey, Jorpan.
Do you think Ludwig will try something similar in Thirdborn?